Hello my friends, welcome back in the Moon Bandits layer. I am late and this is the first weekly reading that we are doing on this channel, and specifically we're going to ask the cards what is the energy that you can implement to live the next week at the best that you can. Of course, as always, the cards can give us only advice and suggestions, but the responsibility and the decision for what you will actually do in your life is 100% yours. We have 3 piles today: pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And we have for pile number 1 a rose quartz. For pile number 2, I am pretty sure that this is selenite. And for pile number 3, these, I think this is also quartz. I remember that it's called like the Master Healer or something similar. It's mistaken for citrine, but I am pretty sure that it's something else that now it's slipping my mind. But it's still very, very pretty. So, go ahead and pick your pile, pause the video as long as you need, if you need to, or if you already know which is your pile for this week and the next week. So the week that is starting today, if you start a week on Sunday, or tomorrow, if you start the week on Monday, I will see you at your reading. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You picked these very beautiful rose quartz, and this pile of cards, they're going to be telling us how you can, the energy that you can implement in this week or the next week, according on if it has already started or not for you, to live it at the best that you can. So we have a 2 of swords, we have the moon, we have obsidian number 39. Where can I put this so you can see it? Okay. We have the Knave of Cups in reverse. Okay, you should see it. And we have changing. Okay. So the first thing that I want to say is that changing with the moon is very, very fitting. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find a way to put these cards so you can see all of them. Okay. Okay, good enough. So changing with the moon is very, very fitting because, of course, the moon goes through phases. And it says changing, it's not difficult. So it feels a lot like a natural changing, something that you can feel, you can find yourself do without actually realizing that you started doing it. And in a very good way. So I think it's about something very positive, or anyway, the energy that it's suggesting is to embrace changing. Embrace changing, and remember that just because something is changing, it doesn't mean, first of all, it doesn't mean that it has to be difficult. And second of all, it doesn't mean that it's actually completely changing. Like the moon changes how she presents to us, okay, and goes through 4 phases or more, depends how you count them, every cycle, every month. But at the same time, it's still the moon. So sometimes what changes is something about yourself, but not yourself. It can be how you present yourself. It can be how you act in a specific situation. But still, it's a change that it's still inherently part of you. You are not going... The moon is not going against who she is, going through her phases. Her phases are part of who she is. So first of all, there's this embrace the changing energy in a way of change is inevitable, but it's also needed. It's also helpful in a way. There's actually a very healing energy, more than healing, a freeing energy. There's this changing card, honestly, also with this pink, it feels like one of the first days of spring in which you can actually go out without a jacket, okay? So you are not really aware of when it happened, because of course it didn't go from snow to half-sleeve shirt, but somehow it happened, and the process happened in a very natural way that you almost didn't realize, because the changes daily were so little that you adapted to them without any type of issue. It feels like that type of changing. The type of changing that is always working behind the scene, and that one day you will feel the outcome of this changing, and you will look back and you won't even realize how that happened. Okay, so I think that the energy for this week is embrace this changing, accepting that everything comes in phases, that things change, and the fact that things change doesn't mean that they are going against themselves or against their nature. Sometimes, as in the moon, having phases is part of who they are. And then we have obsidian, which is actually a very interesting combination with the moon and with changing, because obsidian, as many, if not all, black stones, black crystals, talk about grounding. And I feel that, especially with this Two of Swords, that has these two swords, of course, that seem to clash, but actually it feels more like they're coming in together, like they come from two different perspectives, but they intersect. It feels like this energy is kind of double-sided. So on one hand, there is accepting the changing and being open to any kind of development. And from the other side, there's also remember to stay grounded. So don't lose yourself in the change, which is actually what the moon herself is about, changing while always being herself. So I feel that there's this allow things to change around you while staying grounded in yourself. So know who you are, know what you want, know what are your limits, know what you can accept and what you cannot accept. And the Knave of Cups in reverse actually talks again about some kind of, if not necessarily changing, a new path, because the Knave is the first of the court cards, so it's the inexperienced one. Sometimes the Knave is represented by kids or young people in general, and the Knave of Cups has to do with, okay, cups have to do with emotions, but I also want to point out that cups are ruled by water, and the word is slipping my mind. The sea levels, okay, because I don't remember the English word, are also ruled by the moon herself. So there's also this connection. But the Knave of Cups in reverse honestly feels like being finally able to embrace and accept something new that is coming in. And it can be accepting something new that it's coming in and it's starting to come in. Like accepting means letting this have the opportunity to come in, or accepting this means going the next step because it's in reverse. So it could also be the linking, okay, between the Knave of Cups and the Knight of Cups, which is the next card. So it could also be being open. It could be being open to for the Knave of Cups to come in, or being open to go beyond the Knave of Cups and being open for the next card, for the next step, so for the Knight of Cups. The fact that it's cups honestly gives me the impression that it may have to do, it may be an advice specifically, I don't want to say about feelings though. It feels more like what I just got is something about something you care about. So being open, be open to change and to new development in something that you care about while still being grounded and sure in yourself. And accept that both things are possible. Both things are absolutely possible. Now, for your pile, I had to shuffle for a little bit for this specific deck, for the Tattoo Tarot, because I formulated the question wrong, and I wanted to be sure that the card that I gave you was specifically for you and the right one and a fitting one. But I remember that the one that I was unsure about was a Nine of Cups, which actually has a very similar feeling, just that the 9 is the we are almost there, while the Knave is we are starting again, we are starting the next step. But it's still cups. It's still cups, and it's still in that part of a cycle in which you are concluding one cycle and starting another one. I just want to, okay. Also, the moon here has two different things. And the Two of Swords, the two is about duality, of course, but the swords can be about conflict and about mind. In this case, honestly, it doesn't feel like a conflict. It feels more like balancing two different things. So, being open to what comes in while always remembering who you are. That is the change, the change, but staying true to yourself energy that comes through with this reading. Now I want to give you also a little bit of a message, advice with the Archangel's cards and the Starseed card that we use without the Starseed part because I don't resonate with it at all. So basically I use them for messages. So Spirit and Archangels, what message do you have for pile number 1 for the following week? Okay. We have you are safe. Archangel Michael, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you and your loved ones and home. So, of course, stay safe in the earthly world and also in your spiritual practices, and that it's very much your responsibility. But at the same time, I feel like a part of the message is accept what's coming in, because you're being protected, and what's coming in, it's not against you. You know, it's not something that can be a danger or can be annoying or disappointing in any way. Of course, again, it's very much your earthly responsibility, okay, to stay safe. So if something that you really don't vibe with or that you're worried about comes in this week, you are 100% absolutely free and encouraged by the human me to say, you know what, no. That's very much still an option. Let's put it here. Okay. And Spirit, what is another message for pile 1 for next week that you want to give pile 1 to finish this reading? What message do you have for pile 1 for next week? Or for this week, if they start the week in Sunday? Okay, we have 2. We have, okay, I'm going to live translate, so I'm sorry for the not smooth sentences. Let yourself go in my arms, accepting, keep the opposites together, and the extreme, not extremes, I'm sorry, yeah, literally it's extremes, but it's more of, like, the farthest parts away, okay, the extremes, like in North Pole and South Pole, okay? The farthest things from each other of life. So this is still talking about accepting the change and accepting the phases, but still being grounded, okay? And keeping those 2 things together. And then jump in. Andromedan energy, adventure, and embrace the changing. Okay, I think that these 2 cards basically summarize your all reading. So I think that it's a perfect point to finish this reading and let you go live your next week. I thank you very, very much for being with me and for letting me read your cards. If you like this reading, or simply if you want to support my channel, or if you both like the reading and want to support my channel, you can like or comment or subscribe, or even more than one, and it's all absolutely free for you, but it's very, very helpful for me, and to be honest, is also very, very liked by me, because I love to know what people think about my readings and if they resonate with them. So thank you again, pile 1, and have a nice week. Goodbye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. This is your stack of cards, and this is the stone that you picked, the crystal that you picked, and we're keeping it here, okay? Maybe here. Okay. it shadows the cards less, so you can see it better. Okay, this is the energy that the cards are advising you to implement in this week or the following weeks. Depends if you start the week on Sunday or on Monday, to live this week in the best way possible, simply. So we have a Two of Wands in reverse. We have air. Okay. We have Moldavite, number 35. We have the Queen of Swords. Okay, and we're putting this beside air because it's very, very fitting. I'm sorry. I can't seem to. Okay. I'll grab this one. And then we have Vitality. It's time to change some habits. Okay. So first of all, I want to say that air and Queen of Swords have a very, very similar energy. And actually, it feels like the cards themselves are a little bit similar, like in the image itself. I'm sorry, I'm trying to, okay. I was trying to multitask. Okay, but let's focus on one thing at a time. So, the Queen of Swords and Hair I feel that they have a very similar posture, and these wave of hair and these little braids of hair have a very similar shape, honestly. And swords, so also the Queen of Swords, are ruled by air. So we are in the air realm. So swords can mean two things. They can mean mind, so they can have to do with the mind, or with conflict. With air here, and with vitality, it feels like it's not really, it feels like it's different perspective, okay? Because here it says that it's time to change some habits. And here we have the Queen of Swords, who has what seems like a spider web on her eye. And usually spider webs are found where things haven't been moved in a while. So where in a home, usually where you haven't cleaned in a while, but generally speaking, even if you go strolling in a park, you find a spider web where people haven't walked there for a while. So the spiders have had time to create these webs. So I feel like it can absolutely symbolize something that is a little bit fossilized, like something it's there, but not specifically because you want it there, but just because it was there. He had a place. It wasn't bothering, okay? So you just left it there. But the energy that you can implement this week is actually asking yourself, is that thing there? And we're talking about habits. Is that habit there? I am keeping up with it because I want to, because it helps me, because I need to for my health, even if I don't want to, because those are the most important ones. Or it's there, even if it actually does nothing to me, just because I am so used to having it there that I just leave it every time that I clean around. And this air feeling, it feels like, okay, the English word is slipping my mind, but it feels like renewal. It feels like renewal. It feels like spring cleaning. It feels like, let's see what I have around and check as Marie Kondo would say, if they spark joy or if they don't spark joy, and let them go if they don't spark joy. What I was looking up for on my laptop before, it was the specific meaning of Moldavite. So Moldavite is green, the whole card is green, so I think that we have to do with the heart chakra, and that it's absolutely in tune with needing to know what resonates and what doesn't resonate. But Moldavite is also known as the stone of transformation, and it's believed to greatly accelerate spiritual growth and evolution. So, we're talking about a transforming energy. And now it's very fun that the first pile had the moon, but I basically shuffled stones because I didn't want to follow a specific path. I wanted to leave it open for your intuition to pick up on the pile and the crystal that you felt more drawn to. So I basically shuffled and they came out one beside the other, and so it was 1, 2, 3, and you got selenite, that as a reminding to the moon. And still we're talking about cycling, about renewal, about, I feel like we're talking about a new moon energy. So that moment in which, but even more of a new moon energy, if I'm not wrong, which I may be, so you're absolutely free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but it should be the waning moon. The waning moon, so the phase between the full moon and the next new moon, so when the moon is basically becoming smaller. The moon is not becoming smaller, but what we see of the moon is becoming smaller, because that's the time period that is connected to reflection and letting go of what doesn't serve you. What doesn't serve you. And again, this is not just a matter of what I enjoy or what I don't enjoy, because there might be some things that you don't enjoy do, but they are necessary for your physical or mental or spiritual well-being. So those are absolutely keep. But this is about seeing if there are some habits, some things in your life that actually do nothing in your life. They don't do anything. They don't do wrong. They don't do anything bad, and that's why you have kept them up to now, but they don't even do anything good for you. They're just there. They're just neutral. And neutrality can be a very positive thing, but it can also be a very useless thing sometimes, because keeping up with something that doesn't do anything for you means that you are using energy to keep up with it, but actually have no results out of it. And actually, right now, I want to check, because there may be a chance that we are in the waning moon as of right now, but we're checking right now. We are okay. Yeah, maybe if I do that now. Yes, we are absolutely in the waning phase of the moon. So we are between a new moon and we are between a full moon and a new moon. So we are in the phase in which every day, every night, basically we see a little less of the moon. So it actually is an energy that actually fits the stage of the moon cycle that we are in right now perfectly. Now, I want also to address these Two of Wands, of course. Why would we have it here if we don't address this? So, this Two of Wands in reverse is, I'd say that it can be paired with this. Because we have air, and then we have fire, because wands are ruled by fire. And these Two of Wands specifically, actually all two cues in this deck, when they are upside down, when they're in reverse, give very much a feeling of aligning, being aligned with your higher self. And in this specific case, we're talking about fire. We're talking about life, honestly, because wands, in my perspective, okay, there are pentacles or coins that rule material aspects, cups that rules emotions, and then swords that are connected by mind and conflict, and basically wands are connected to everything else. Okay, so life in general, I'd say. So I think that it's still the energy of aligning your life to who you are, to who you truly are, to your core, to your soul. Because this can be your higher self, but it also can be, it can be aligning with your higher self, so with the part of your soul that it's not incarnated, but it's in spirit realm, and so that remembers everything, and knows everything you have learned. But it can also be aligning your life, your hurt life, to who you are. So if the Two talks about duplicity, in reverse, it has their energy of making two different things come together, align with each other, be not necessarily one and only, but be similar, be about, I'm honestly picturing like two semi-transparent things, okay, that overlap with each other and create a whole new color that embrace everything. Okay, so they're overlap. Okay, instead of having who you are and how is your life, how is maybe your daily routine, okay, you have a daily routine that reflects and overlaps who you are. This is very much the feeling that it's giving. Now, to close off this reading, we are asking for a message, because we can always use a supportive message from someone who loves us. And in this case, we are asking the archangels with this deck and spirit in general with this other deck. So, spirit and archangels. Okay. I didn't even need to finish formulating. So, you know what to do, Archangel Uriel. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Okay? And then we have Spirit, what other message do you want to give to pile 2? Okay. Your messages are very quick to come. So, it may be, I honestly think that it's possible either that you need to hear these things, or that you are particularly open to hear, like you are ready to hear. So the messages come in easily. We have karmic relationships, okay. Orion energy, polarities, growth, and conflict. Okay. Just to throw something else in the mix. still feels honestly like two people walking towards the same thing. So this whole two things that can meet each other in the middle and overlap and be aligned with each other, okay? It's still there. It may be that some of these habits or something has to do with some karmic relationship or with some karmic wounds that you have. In this case, of course, it's not something that you can do in 1 week, okay? Especially because I think it's really important to take care of yourself while you're working on karmic relationships and karmic wounds. But we are asking the energy for this week. So the energy for this week, the message about this week is you know what to do. And you know what to do before karmic relationships honestly makes me think that the reason why I am picking up not that much from this card can be because you know. Like this card may talk specifically to you instead of to me because it's probably highly different for every one of you. But again, one thing that came to me is change habits with karmic relationship and with this spring cleaning energy, okay? It feels a lot like if you have a relationship, a karmic relationship, so someone you are linked to by karma, by a past life maybe, by a purpose, but that specific person in their current incarnation doesn't vibe with you, sprinkling on them. That's honestly the feeling, which of course doesn't mean any harm. Just distance yourself. Even if there's some karmic thing going on, if you don't vibe with someone or with a situation, or if that person or situation makes you use energy but doesn't actually have any result, you can absolutely distance yourself from them. Especially, I want to underline, everything that is karmic is karmic, okay? We're talking about spirit world. So in the moment in which we are incarnated, we of course all have free will, which means 100% responsibility for our actions. And it also means that it's our incarnated self don't have to necessarily follow what leads us to our growth, what tends our wounds, what makes us grow and heal. So if you have to do with a karmic relationship that right now is incarnated in a person that it's not the best for you, okay? So toxic, or even not fully toxic, but just meh, okay? Spring clean of them. Distance yourself from them. Wish them the best and go your way. Point number 2. I think that this is everything that came out from your reading. I thank you very much for staying with me and for letting me do this reading for you. If you like this, or if you want to support me and my work and my channel, it's absolutely free for you to like, comment, and subscribe, or even just one of them. It's very helpful, actually. And it's very, very helpful for me and for my work. And it also gives me feedback. So I know what you guys like or don't like, and what you want to see or what you don't want to see. And on this point, if there's one specific reading or one specific topic that you want me to do a reading about, comment in the comment section and let me know, because I am always open for new ideas. Thank you again, and have a nice week. Bye. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You choose these, I think the name may be Golden Healer Quartz. I like this very, very much. And this is your stack of cards that will tell us the advice from Spirit and from the cards to leave these if you start the week on Sunday, or next if you start the week off Monday, so tomorrow, in the best way that you can. So, I think I spoiled you the cards. But we have an Ace of Cups, Pluto, Malachite, a 4 of coins in reverse, and Cooperation. Offer help without expecting anything. So, first of all, your reading is very chromatically very pleasant, actually, because we have basically 2 colors that are very predominant. We have the blue and the green, and in this Ace of Cups we have both the blue and the green, so it brings everything together. We have 2 repeated numbers. We have a 4, we have a 22, we have a 34, we have a 33, and we have an Ace of 1. So, Pluto in this specific image gives me an idea of being, an energy of being sure of yourself, standing your ground, and knowing what you're doing. And then we have the Ace of Cups that actually talks about beginnings, because aces talk about beginnings and specifically emotion related, okay, because cups are related to to emotions. And then we have this 4 of coins in reverse that talks about something else, because coins have to do with the material world, with earth world, and we have a 4 in reverse. So we have this snake that brings everything together, but in reverse. So, I'm sorry. First of all, I am pretty sure that we have 2 runes here. So next we will also go look for the meaning of those, because I don't remember them by heart as of right now. But honestly, these 2 cards together give a very, very weird feeling, almost a nervous feeling, almost an overwhelmed feeling, almost I'm not sure what I should do feeling. Not I don't know what I should do feeling, but I know what I want to do, but I am not sure that I can let myself do this. And basically Pluto, with his sable figure, with his crossed arms, is basically, I feel like in one way, and again, I want to reiterate that everything I say, everything the cards say through me, they are all advices, okay? You don't have to do anything. All the choices that you make in your life, everything you do and everything you say, is absolutely only your responsibility, which also means that you are the only one who can decide, okay? These are advices. But I think that Pluto, with his sure standing position, is basically saying, go for it. I feel like this card can be summarized in go for it. And this go for it may be offering help without expecting anything. It can be about giving a priority to your emotions rather than your the concrete aspect, okay, even the monetary aspect maybe. So I'm thinking perhaps starting a project just because you like it, not because you can earn an income from it. But first of all, I want to check, because this specific deck came without a booklet, and I am yet to study all the meanings of the crystals. So just to be sure, we are looking up what's the meaning of malachite. And malachite is a stone of transformation because it helps reveal and heal emotional pain by absorbing the pain into itself. It's especially helpful in bringing ease during times of change and gives the insight needed for personal growth. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, transformation, actually, I also want to point out that we were talking about the colors, and one of the colors, of course, is the color of malachite. And green is linked, if I'm not wrong, to the heart chakra, while the blue is the throat chakra. So we have also an energy of speaking up your throat, speaking up what comes from your heart. I want to check the runes. Okay, this one, sorry. This one, okay, is the rune Othala. I remember this. And means as much as home. It refers either to family, home, or of the person seeking advice, or the spiritual home. Now, in reverse, gives me a feeling that it may be your spiritual home. Specifically, I think that it may be your spiritual family, so your soul family, and your spiritual team, your guides, your angel, who are coming through telling you that not everything needs to always be connected to each other and connected to material things, connected to money, connected to earning. You can do some things just because you want to do them, just because they bring you joy, not because they give you something in return, but because the something in return, speech marked, is how you feel while you do them. This cooperation honestly feels a lot like, for example, volunteering work. You're not paid, and you're actually putting in energy and time that, yes, you could use to do something that gives you an income. But if that's not what you want to do, and you can afford to use some time and energy for something that doesn't give you an income, then go for it. This other rune, let's see if I remember the name. Yes, okay. This other rune, it's not completely similar, but enough. No, yeah, actually it is pretty similar. It's Fehu, and it means money, cattle, wealth. It means, because my brain cannot process and pronounce, but you got it. Wealth and prosperity through the ownership of cattle. Okay, this is what's very specific. But again, we have money, cattle, wealth in reverse. So we have the message that not everything needs necessarily to earn. You can do some things because you want to do them. And I'm talking about volunteering, I'm talking about hobbies, I'm talking about taking a day off in which you do absolutely nothing beside rereading for the 10th time your favorite novel because you need to rest and refresh yourself. I am talking about having a breakfast date with your best friend. I'm talking about anything that is investing in yourself. Instead of investing time and energy in what can give you something back, especially in what can give you something back monetarily speaking, invest in yourself. Because the Ace of Cups is kind of telling us that you have the cup. As if the cup is yourself, okay, the cup is empty. And to fill the cup, you don't need money. You need money to survive and live properly and be safe enough in the earth life, okay? So I'm talking about a position in which you do have the money and the concrete resources to survive and live safely. Okay, because of course that's going to be a priority if you don't have them. But if you have them, then where you should turn your gaze to is your cup. Because your cup is empty. And you don't fill the cup with money, but you fill it with feelings, in a way, with you. With what fills you up, with what makes you feel good, what makes you feel refreshed, what makes you feel like thinking when you're going to sleep at night, that's a good day that I've had. I enjoyed today. So I think that the message is let yourself, again, if you can afford it, let yourself do something that brings joy, that brings growth, that brings happiness to you as a person, not to your bank account. Your bank account can survive if you don't focus on it for one freaking day, one freaking week. Actually, can even survive if you keep track of it and you use it, and it can absolutely survive if it serves you and not you serve him, it, whatever. Bank account in Italian is a male name, so I tend to use male pronouns because it's a heavily gendered language, Italian, which is something I complain basically every time I get the chance to. But yeah, honestly, the energy that it's giving me, it's Sunday morning. Actually, the image that I'm kind of seeing is like a weekend morning, and it's like middle morning, even close to lunchtime, and you have slept in, and now you're taking a stroll and going to have a breakfast or lunch at your favorite place, maybe with your favorite people, and you're just taking care of yourself. You're just focusing on yourself, on your feelings, on your mood, on your happiness. And removing the focus to the coins. And the snake that usually feels like it's bringing everything together right now feels like it's trapping everything together. Like, dragons that hoard the treasure or hoard money and jewels and crystals and everything, and keeps everything there. And I think that this reading is suggesting you that maybe this is not what makes you happy. Maybe you're not a dragon, but you're a hobbit. Maybe your happiness doesn't come from hoarding treasure, but it comes from having a second breakfast with people you enjoy the company of. That's very much the feeling. And again, I feel like Pluto's kind of giving you his permission, Like, Pluto actually is not considered a planet anymore, but because it's a dwarf planet. But the energy that comes from this card feels like, I know who I freaking am. I don't freaking care what the scientists say, if I am a dwarf planet, or if I am a planet, or if I am categorized as whatever the freaking else. I am me. I know myself. I know how I want to live my life. I know what I want. Like, as if Pluto is saying, I am Pluto. I'm not a category. I'm me. So, speaking in terms of people, it's as if you're saying, I'm not, I don't know. Let's say that you have a business, okay? You work for yourself. You have your own business. And it's as if you're saying, I'm not an entrepreneur. I am my name. And being an entrepreneur is part of you. And maybe it's something that also brings you joy. But that you feel the need to be balanced with everything else. Or maybe you're someone who doesn't want a business for themselves, who prefer to have to be employed somewhere so you can clock in for your working hours and do what you need to do, and then go back and have the freedom not to think about work anymore and enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. And maybe that's the most important part of your day. And that it's not absolutely fine and valid, that it's also very much relatable. Because I am talking about someone who's trying to build a career out of something that I love. Because the grind mentality is absolutely not for me. Maybe that's also another option. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're trying to grow and build a career for yourself in something that you love to do, so you can feel fulfilled while you're also providing for your material needs. I think that also listen to yourself is something that these cards are saying. Trust yourself, maybe even. Now, to finish this reading, I want to give you an advice from the Archangels and then one from Spirit in general with this deck. So, Spirit and Archangels, what message do you have for pile number 3 for next week? Okay, these are a little bit too many, so we'll keep shuffling because I'm not sure which one was for you. So, Spirit Archangels, what's your message? Okay. Clear your space. Archangel Jophiel, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use Feng Shui. And I also want to point out that this specific green is basically what comes out if you put together green with light blue. So we're still in palette. Colors are very, very important for me if that wasn't clear. Spirit, what other message do you have for pile 3? Okay, I didn't even need to ask, basically. The School of Heart. life lessons, soul growth, study, superior learning. I feel like one way this card can be read is you're here also to learn, not necessarily just to have, you're not here only to have a good hurt life, only to be successful as much as you can in your hurt life. You're here also to heal your past wounds, grow, let your soul grow, and learn even more. Pile number 3. Your reading finish here. I thank you very, very much for staying with me and letting me read your cards. If you want to let me know that you enjoyed this content, or if you simply want to, that's absolutely not simply at all, to support my channel and my work, you can like or follow or comment or more than one if you feel like it, and it's absolutely free for you, but it's really, really, really a great help for me and for my job, and it honestly makes me very happy to know how my readings resonate with people and if they've been helpful or not. So thank you again, and have a nice week. Bye.